Well, hello, my soul friends. It is Victoria, the soul nurturer. Exhausted. How about you? I'm not exhausted just physically, but I'm sure, like many of you, emotionally exhausted. Especially you empaths out there, like me, where we're really absorbing, feeling into this collective unfolding. So much intensity, so much potential for transformation. I like to remind people chaos precedes transformation. So, I'm here to talk about the new moon in Cancer on July 28th at 7:52 p.m. Pacific time. I always forget to say that. If you watch my videos, you know I tend to leave out keywords. But I'm feeling like you hear me, you get me. If you are my soul tribe, you're watching with me, it means you have a connection to me, my message, and you're already resonating. So maybe you're able to fill in those blanks. But I do have a commitment to try to talk a little slower, even though the words come in quickly. One of these days, maybe I'll be brave enough to just do a complete, I don't edit these videos, and I don't do notes. I sometimes look at references. I try to let my soul wisdom come forward. And yet I do feel like I still sometimes hold back. In fact, today I got a message from someone asking me, a previous client, what I thought about what's going on with everything going on right now. I certainly share some perspective, but I don't try to share my absolute, because I don't believe in absolutes, and I think that's part of the problem, why we are in such turmoil. And I told myself I wouldn't get into the politics here, but just to say this, we are in a huge transformational time, huge. And this is what brought me back to astrology, to try to make sense of the things that don't make sense, to remember that we are in a collective unfolding, a huge transformation, and a lot of things are coming up for review in our world. But this previous client had said, do you have any suggestions from your end? She said she feels helpless and she doesn't even know where to start. So she was speaking to the recent Supreme Court decision to override Roe v. Wade. I'm not going to get into details on that today, but I might highlight some things here through this new moon video. And I may do another video to speak more specifically to that. But I couldn't not say anything. I think that's part of us as women right now. We're really feeling this. As women who are nurturers, which is the Cancer moon, new moon, sun in Cancer. We're in Cancer season. And by the way, happy birthday to you, Cancers out there, Cancerians. I have a funny story when I was learning astrology, like when I was in high school, doing someone's chart and mispronouncing both Cancer and Uranus, and you can put those two things together from there. But I'm just going to talk about the season of the Cancerian people that were born during this time. I may touch on, I can't help but touch on, some of the things that are going on. Again, this is why I got back into astrology. I was like, how do you make sense of things that don't make sense with our human experience eyes? Like, what is happening, right? And starting to pick up astrology back in 2020, I was like, oh, okay, we're in another huge cycle of transformation. Cycles of transformation don't happen overnight. It's a rebirthing. It's a big process. So here we are together. So like you, many of you, I imagine, you may feel, another growth opportunity, more work, more soul work. You may feel exhausted. You may feel tired. You may feel the heat of it all. We're in summer now. And like my previous client, friend, feeling helpless and hopeless and not knowing where to start. Well, maybe this video will help contribute something towards that end, and maybe, just maybe, I'll do another video more specific to how I feel about it all. And again, all this If you're on watching my channel, know that this is just me, my intuition, my soul wisdom, my point of view, and like many of you, I'm evolving and growing too. So I might have a certain perspective, and if I sit with some information, which I hope we all do, I may expand that perspective to see something different, okay? All right, staying on track now. So happy birthday, my Cancerian friends. If it is your birthday season, comment below so I can wish you a happy birthday. And that's from June 21st to July 22nd or June 22nd, depending on the ephemeris, depending on the year. So let me first start with some of the archetypal expressions of Cancer. The key phrase for the Cancerians, and also when I'm talking about the new moon. So I'm doing this as a gift to some of my friends who want to learn more about astrology. When I talk about where the moon is, I'm talking about, it could be your sun sign, your rising, or, if you have significant Cancerian energy in your chart, so you can get a feel of like when my mom is a Cancer, or my sister, or my friend, or my brother, and then you start to put together the puzzle pieces. Astrology is really just a bunch of puzzle pieces we put together to get a sense of the personality of the person or the potential of what might happen. And again, this is all potential and possibilities which we are all working with, right? So I like to start off now to just talk about, so in general, these are what's associated with Cancer, the archetypal expression of it, and the basic information. So Cancer is both a cardinal sign and water, which motivates the sign to explore new emotional states and ways of being, take initiative, create new possibilities from that emotion, from the intuition. Cancer rules the chest, stomach, womb, and breast, which means it's connected to parenting and reproduction. So that's kind of interesting. I thought, I try to stay objective and just kind of view when I talk about astrology from sacred awareness, I call it, just kind of with the witness perspective. Oh, and I think how interesting. We have a new moon in Cancer, and it rules the womb and reproduction and parenting. I'll just leave that right there. So Cancers in general, they're the nurturers. They are the mothers. It's all about home, hearth, and family, tradition, and so much just holding that space for the foundation of a child to grow. But also nurturing potential. That's why I call myself the soul nurturer, because my North Node is in Cancer in the 6th house. So it's all about wanting to nurture the soul potential in others. So some other qualities that we associate with Cancerian types. It's ruled by the moon, of course. And so think about the moon. Right now we're talking about the new moon, the phases of the moon, the lunation cycle, right? From new, from balsamic moon, where we don't even see it, it's the dark moon, to new moon, to crescent moon, to, as it begins to grow to fruition, all the way to the full moon, that cyclical change, So changeability. So sometimes we, we can say Cancerians can be changeable and maybe moody because they too are fluctuating, right? But it rules the 4th house, again, home, hearth, foundation, childhood, emotional intelligence. For me, I connected to self-care. It's a perfect time for reparenting, for self-nurturing, nurturing your own soul potential, doing some inner child work. I like to put these videos together with the work that I do, which is soul work and helping support the soul expression through the human experience. And so it's a good time for that inner child work, reparenting, nurturing self-care. So Cancers are the natural healers and nurturers and mediators. I was thinking how interesting it is that, the U.S. is a Cancer. In fact, we are in a major, as you can tell, major flux and growth spurt. We also have a Pluto return happening this year, right? So Pluto return for the country is saying we have to look at all the shadowy things that don't work. We have to look at all the, what's not working. And we are seeing a lot of what's not working. This isn't just, again, getting political again. This isn't a right or left or party choice. This is a systems issue. Our system is not working. And that's where, I was actually talking to my husband earlier about this. That's his specialty, looking at systems. And so we were contrasting and comparing the body and the body of our political system. So maybe I'll do another video on that. If you're interested, put a message or a comment below, because I'm not sure if I want to step into that water, but then again, I feel very pulled towards that. Anyway, speaking of that, I am offering a giveaway for this month, and we're almost done with this month. This will be my last video probably for this month. But for June, if you watch any of my videos in June and you comment below, I will put your name in a raffle. I'll put your name in a hat. I won't pull out a rabbit. I'll pull out a name, and maybe it'll be your name, and you'll win a free session with me. That could be a soul chart review. It could be my hybrid, which is peek at your soul chart review and then do some of your soul work to support you in that with bouncing off your chart. So comment below if you're interested, and I will let you know if you are the winner. If I don't have your contact information, if you're not a client, or if I don't have a way to get a hold of you, I will comment underneath your comment to get a hold of me if you are the winner. Okay, so good luck with that. Okay, so let's see. Again, I feel a little ungrounded today. I feel I'm really in my heart. And I think about, again, Cancerian energy is home, hearth, and heart. And being in our own hearts to offer ourselves compassion and nurturing. And this is essential for all of those who relate to this archetypal expression of the Cancerian, the caretaker, the nurturer, giving to all. This new moon, I think, is an invitation to balance out the giving and the receiving. Are you giving too much, doing too much, not receiving, or not giving and offering what you need to yourself? It is connected to our own needs, a need for our own nurturing, our need for our own support and love and guidance. I always like to, mention when I talk about a sign, that we talk about the possibilities, and then also maybe the shadow. So Cancerians are all about security, and really when they are in their essence, they, again, sun signs, I'm talking about moon or rising, just want to wrap their arms around everyone, and nurture and love. But when they're not feeling secure, and that could bring some shadow material forward, they can be kind of irritable. They can worry more because they're all about security, worrying about others. They may be kind of manipulating, trying to get their needs met instead of directly getting their needs met. So I forgot to mention too, the sign or the symbol connected with Cancerians is the crab. So think about the crab. The symbols tell us a lot too. Why does the crab have such a hard shell? It's very vulnerable, right? So if you have a lot of Cancer in your chart, or aspects that, like you have a conjunction to the moon, or you have a lot of planets in your fourth house. By the way, if you want to know your chart, reach out to me. And when I talk about the new moon or full moons, which I've been doing for a while now, it all, this is the general temperature of what we're all experiencing collectively. And then to have it more specific and personal to you, we need to look at your chart and see where where the new moon is in your chart. And then the other planets, which I'm going to touch on a little bit because there's a lot going on right now, as usual, but I'm also committed to keeping these kind of short. So really this time is about being in our own hearts, connecting to our own compassion and nurturing. And this mothering isn't a gender thing. It is the feminine expression for anyone who is drawn to caretaking, nurturing, even protecting is connected to to Cancerian energy. My husband is a Cancer. He's such the peaceful warrior. He's very nurturing. He's also very protective. So this isn't a gender thing, but it is a gender thing when we think about, there's only one sex that has a womb. So it is a gender thing in some way. I really feel with this new moon, remember new moons are, okay, it's like that pause where we say, all right, what's not working? What would I like to work better? Getting ready to plant seeds of new possibilities, contributing our visioning, our desires into the collective unfolding. Now, this is tricky when you're sensitive. I know for me, I haven't watched a lot of news, but I can feel into what's going on. And I am sitting with, like what my client asked me, what are your thoughts? I'm still trying to figure out, how do I contribute something to the higher unfolding? But first, I'm sitting with the problem until I find what I call the soul solution from me. It's maybe not the solution for all, but the solution for me. And this is, again, part of the issue going on right now. This complex, trying to decide the issue for all when it's such an individual thing, isn't it? So I want to tell you about some of the other things going on with other planets tomorrow as well. When the moon is in Cancer, a new moon tomorrow, or whenever you're watching this, on the 28th is when it happens. Neptune also goes into retrograde, and Neptune, planet of it's connected to our spirituality. It's connected to dreams and illusions. And so going retrograde, it may be like helping us get more clear, actually, to strip away the false ideas we had, the illusions we had, really strengthening our intuition. Sometimes Neptune can make our intuition feel fuzzy, where we're like, I'm not sure if this is what is right or not. And because now I'm connecting it to the Cancer new moon, listening to our hearts, our souls, even our subconscious. The moon is connected to the subconscious. What do I know or feel, using the Cancer term, what do I feel to be true here to help us cut through illusion and story? We also have Sun and Moon square Jupiter, which can bring some expansion of energy. Jupiter square Moon or Moon square Jupiter could bring more emotions. We think of bigger emotions with the full moon, but with this new moon, it could be, there's a lot to be feeling about and thinking about. So there's just a lot, there's just a lot of transformational energy right now. There's just a lot. And so where do we start? To answer my client, we start within ourselves. It's important to turn away from the noise of the world and come into ourselves and ask yourself some questions. What do I feel about this issue? What do I know to be true? What's another way? Remember also the overarching thing for this year is Saturn square Uranus, old ways versus new ways. And even though it feels like we've gone backwards now, we're like, wow, how did we fall back so far? Is this progressive? Is this helping us unfold? Or is this keeping us limited? Well, we sometimes move backwards in order to get a greater perspective of what's not working. And I'm talking about in general. This could be for some of you who've gone back into a relationship. Maybe it's better now, or maybe you hoped it would be better and it's the same relationship. Maybe you went back into some patterns that aren't supporting you, and it's not supporting your highest personal evolution and unfolding. So we've got that dynamic going. It's been going since 2020 and continued. 2021 is when we first started experiencing it, all through this year. That push-pull, look at the old stuff to form a new way, to be innovative in a new way. So going backwards feels like, wait a minute, this isn't an innovative new solution, is it? But no, remember also, we're looking at the shadow, we're looking at what's not working, we're doing a huge sitting in the crap of what's not working to really reconstruct and rebirth something new collectively. What else have we got going on? we have this aspect. It's exact on July 1st. Mars square Pluto, power struggle. There's some intensity here. So personally, this is, Mars in Aries inviting you to something new that feels so against what you traditionally feel. The old structures that you grew up in that you haven't questioned. I think it's an important time always, especially with this new moon. What old structures are you still living in that you have yet to question, that are blocking you from your new potential and extending that to the collective, that aren't contributing to a higher possibility for all of us? So, sit in your heart. This is the invitation from the moon in Cancer and even the sun in Cancer, but sit in your heart. Sit with compassion, sit with nurturing, meeting your needs first. Then you have greater capacity to be with other people, because it could get intense. There could be people pushing your buttons, triggering you, and you might want to go into your shell. So remember, back to the shell, the symbol of Cancer, the crab in the shell, and when Cancerian people get hurt or upset, they go in their shell and they will shut you out. And remember, it's just because they have felt too vulnerable, too sensitive, and too hurt, and they've gone within, and that's okay. So this is just a real time of nurturing and yin receptive time. I had written this when I was sitting with, what does this feel like for me? That's what the first thing I do. What does this feel like for me? And I didn't mean to, it wasn't a conscious choice to put it together with what's going on collectively, but it came forward. And that is that, this energy is knowing whether or not you have the capacity to mother is being a good mother. So that thought came to me, knowing whether or not you have the capacity to mother is being a good mother. This could apply to many things. If you're a mom right now with kids at home, checking your capacity. Maybe all the energy you have is just to mother your children, okay? Maybe you're thinking about becoming a parent and you don't have the capacity to even take care of what you already have to take care of. That's good mothering, to decide yes or no. And I'm not opening this conversation, but that's what came to me today. When I was sitting with this new moon, and I'm still curious about it myself. But remember, mother, I'm not saying this is a gender thing. It's mothering, being able to mother and nurture. And so where is your capacity to do that? And if you're overstretched right now and you're not able to mother and nurture yourself, to caretake yourself, to honor your needs, what you're offering to others isn't your full capacity. And it isn't even, we don't give all to others, but we give from the overflow, or a full well, or a full heart. So one of the words connected to Cancerian energy, when your needs aren't met, and again, remember that all of us have Cancer somewhere in our chart, some more than others, and you'd have to have your chart looked at to know that. But resenting, yeah. If you're feeling resentful, this could be like your well is draining. You don't have the capacity to take care of yourself, nurture yourself, and you see yourself giving to others and you can feel resentful. Something to be aware of. Okay, I already mentioned that some of the things to think about right now: self-care, self-nurturing, reparenting, inner child work. Okay. Yeah. I really love the energy of Cancer. Really nourishing, healing, protection. Who doesn't need that? We all need that, don't we? And I was thinking too, again, gosh, sorry, this is really political, I guess, but I was thinking how interesting, and I don't know if I said this yet, that we are a Cancerian country, and yet to have a feminine, female, leader. In fact, I was thinking, you know what the problem is? Our country doesn't need more politics or more politicians. It needs more healers and mediators and mothers or grandmothers to go, okay, kids, time out. We got to figure this out, kids. And that's what we're missing. We're missing that nurturing, healing possibility, and that's what I pray for. I think that's all I wanted to say about this new moon. Just what are your thoughts? I would like to know how you're feeling as we are now in the Cancer season. And what's on your heart? And that's where our intuition, that's where I believe our soul meets our human experience. What's on your heart? How are you feeling since we're in that Cancer energy of feeling? I feel. What are you feeling? What are you noticing? What's out of balance here for you? Where can you bring your intuitive gifts, your emotional intelligence to say, here's my contribution, first with yourself and then for others. And I also think, it starts from our heart to our immediate surroundings, our families, our loved ones, our community, our country, our world. Everyone has something to contribute. And, the mother archetype needs to guide us. How can we all play well together? How can we all heal? How can we nurture the potential in each other and potential yet to be that is part of the solution, not the problem? And I really am, that's what I'm all about, finding the solution. Okay, that's my take on this new moon. Take good care of yourself. The more you nurture and love yourself and your own potential, the more you contribute to the solution. Okay? All right. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Got to do the whole commercial thing. I hope you like this, but not only like it, comment, and if you want to be part of the raffle or not, and maybe make that distinction. If you're commenting because you just feel called to, and I hope that you are, but you don't really want a session, that's cool. I'm okay with that. Just comment, or I'll put your name in the raffle. And if you want to offer the session to someone else, you can do that. Let's do that. But please do comment. I love the likes. I love people sending me private messages, but when you comment, you help me outreach and nurture the souls and potentials of more people, and that is my goal here. Thank you for being with me today. I want to know what's on your heart. I want to know how you're doing and how you're taking care of yourself. Please do comment or send me a private message and reach out for a soul work session with me. Does your soul need nurturing? Do you want to know your soul potential to nurture? Reach out to me. www.victoriajazwick.com, or you can reach me at thesoulnurturer@gmail.com. thesoulnurturer@gmail.com. Take good care until next time. See you then. Thanks.